Scottish Highlands, 1939. A gamekeeper stalks a red deer. Upwind, silent, patient. One shot, one kill, clean, humane. He's been doing this for 20 years. Knows every hill, every wind pattern, every sound. And then war breaks out. The British Army finds him. We need men who can move unseen, kill from distance, never miss. And suddenly, his skills aren't for deer anymore. They're for Germans. In the mountains of Italy, German soldiers started disappearing, one by one. No gunshots heard, no bodies found immediately, just gone. They called them the Ghosts. The British called them Lovat's Scouts. Highland deer stalkers turned into the most feared snipers of World War II. This is their story. Do you know what deer stalking is? Not like regular hunting. This is different. In the Scottish Highlands, there are red deer, big, powerful, wild. And hunting them, it's an art. Why? Because deer's senses are incredible. They can smell you from 500 meters away, hear a twig snap, see movement, and they're gone. So how do you approach? With patience. You read the wind. Always approach from upwind, so your scent doesn't carry. Terrain knowledge. Which route keeps you hidden? Which hill do you approach from behind? Silence. You have to walk without breaking a single branch. And distance judgment. Deer's 300 meters away. There's wind. Uphill slope. How will the bullet travel? You calculate. You get one shot. If you miss, the deer runs. You won't see it again. So don't miss. Ever. These skills can't be taught through military training because they take years. Deer stalkers start as kids. Their fathers teach them. Feel the wind, smell the earth, read the deer tracks. Growing up, mountains are their classroom. Deer are their teachers. By age 20, a Scottish deer stalker is already a master. Patience, can wait motionless for hours. In cold, in rain, doesn't matter. Waits until the deer comes. Stealth, can approach within 50 meters in open terrain. Unseen, wind reading, instinctive, knows without looking. Distance, judges by eye, 200 meters, 400 meters, 600 meters, never wrong. Marksmanship, one shot, one kill, clean, because making the animal suffer isn't ethical. Think about this. These guys were already perfect snipers before becoming soldiers. They just didn't know it. 1940 wars started. Britain's at war, and the British Army ran into a problem. They need snipers, but can't train them. They're training regular soldiers. Target practice, distance estimation, concealment. But it's not working. Why? Because these skills can't be taught quickly. A soldier gets 6 months training, gets good, but doesn't master it because you need years of experience. Terrain reading, instinct, patience. These don't come from training, they come from experience. So what's the Army going to do? An officer made a suggestion. Maybe we don't need to train them, maybe we need to find men who already have these skills. And someone asked, where will we find them? Answer was simple. The Scottish Highlands. Fall 1940. Soldiers came to Scottish estates, visited wealthy landowners. Do you have gamekeepers, deer stalkers, gillies? Yes, we do. Can we see them? And the deer stalkers were called. Men who worked in the mountains, wearing tweed jackets, some 40, 50, even 60 years old. Younger ones too, all the same profession, spent their lives in the mountains. The officer explained, your country needs your skills, not as infantry, as hunters. But this time, the quarry isn't deer. Silence. The men looked, understood. We're taking volunteers, not forcing anyone, but there are mountains in Italy, there are Germans, and we need men like you. Most accepted. Why? Duty, patriotism. And maybe because they'd be doing the only job they knew. Just the target was changing. Lovat's Scouts wasn't actually a new unit, was founded in 1900. During the Boer War, Lord Lovat was a Scottish nobleman. And back then he had the same idea. Deer stalkers make perfect soldiers. Was tested in the Boer War, worked, reformed in World War I, fought at Gallipoli, on the Western Front. But in World War II, different. This time they weren't just infantry. Special Sniper Unit. Mission: in mountainous terrain, hunt the enemy unseen, without noise, without trace, just like they did in deer stalking. And Italy was the perfect place. Why? Because Italy was mountainous, just like the Scottish Highlands. 1943, Lovat scouts in Italy. Monte Cassino area, Apennine Mountains. Look around. What do you see? Mountains, hills, valleys, forests, rocks. Looks like the Scottish Highlands, doesn't it? You know what the soldiers said when they got there? Feels like home. Really, because the terrain was familiar. Wind blew the same way, up the valleys, cold in morning, warm afternoon, cold again in evening. Sounds of the ground, same. When you walk on rocks, what sound does it make? They knew. Tree shadows, what angle gives best concealment? They knew. For Germans, this was foreign terrain. For Lovat scouts, it was home. First mission? Clear German observation posts. Germans were on mountaintops, watching valleys, seeing every movement. Allied forces couldn't advance. So the solution? Clear the observers, but how? Normal assault's expensive, too many casualties. Use artillery? Germans retreat, then come back. So different approach. Lovat's scouts were sent. Orders were simple. Neutralize observers silently. And what did the men do? Went out at night, climbed the mountain, silently, for hours. Took position, 300 to 400 meters from German observers. Concealed themselves, started waiting in the morning. And when morning came, German observers started their shift. Looked at the valley through binoculars. Single shot, silent, dropped. Other Germans didn't understand what happened. Another shot, another drop. Panic. They ran. Observation post abandoned. Mission complete. Lovat's scouts returned. No casualties. Now let's understand the technique. How did they do this? Step 1. Find the target. In deer hunting, you find the deer. In war, you find the German position. Intelligence, maps, observation. Step 2. Approach plan. In deer hunting, you check wind. In war too, always approach from upwind. Sound doesn't carry, smell doesn't carry. Step 3, movement. In deer hunting, you move slowly for hours. In war too, one step, wait, listen. Another step, move at night, hide during day. Step 4, take position. In deer hunting, you find the perfect angle. In war too, high ground, good view, escape route. Step 5, wait. In deer hunting, you wait until the deer comes. In war, you wait until target appears. Patience. Rushing makes mistakes. Step 6, shot. One bullet. Vital area, clean kill. In deer hunting, to not make it suffer. In war, to not make noise. Step 7, withdraw. In deer hunting, you leave quietly. In war too, don't leave traces, don't be seen, disappear. See it? Every step copied from deer stalking, exactly. You know what the Germans thought? At first they didn't understand. Soldiers dying, but why? No gunshots. Nobody sees anything, they just drop. Commanders got reports. Snipers, but different. Normal snipers fire, position becomes obvious. These, never obvious. Fear started spreading. Because Germans were defenseless. Couldn't stand in the open. Couldn't observe. Couldn't patrol, because at any moment, anywhere, an invisible weapon could target them. A German soldier wrote in his letter, "There are ghosts in the mountains. We can't see them, but they see us, and my friends are dying one by one." Psychological warfare. Lovat's scouts were winning, not just with death, with fear too. Some famous shots got recorded. Example 1. A Lovat scout shot a German officer from 800 meters. Windy day, uphill slope, single shot, officer dropped. German soldiers shocked, because 800 meters is far. Can't be done with regular rifle. But it wasn't a regular rifle. It was a hunting rifle, heavy caliber, designed for long distance for deer, but worked on Germans too. Another example, a Scotsman cleared 3 German machine gun crews, one by one. First shot, gunner, dropped, crew panicked. Second shot, assistant, dropped. Third shot, leader, dropped. Machine gun, silenced. 3 shots, 3 dead. 3 minutes. Another one. Night operation. Lovat scout approached German camp to 100 meters. Did you see that? 100 meters. In open terrain, unseen, shot the sentry. Withdrew silently. Germans found the body in morning. Never understood how it happened. These guys were really ghosts. But it wasn't just combat. What was daily life like? Hard. They lived in the mountains, no headquarters, no comfortable tents, slept among rocks, in cold, in wet. Food? Little. Hot meals were rare because if you light a fire, smoke shows. So cold canned food. Water? From streams. But careful. Germans might poison it. Hygiene? Minimal. Went weeks without washing, but did it matter? No. Because they did this in Scotland too. In deer stalking, they'd stay in mountains for days, sleep in cold, in wet clothes, eat hard food. This was normal for them, so in Italy it wasn't a problem. Actually, an advantage, because other soldiers complained. Lovat's scouts quietly did their job. Commanders loved Lovat's scouts. Why? Because they worked. A general wrote, "You can't give these men regular duties. They're specialists for special missions, and they succeed at every mission." Another commander, Lovat's scouts do in one day what a division does in a week, without casualties. And they earned respect, because they were humble, didn't brag. "We're just doing our job," they said, not different from deer stalking. But everyone knew it was different, because targets shot back, and they still didn't miss. These men became legend, quietly, without noise, just like their work. 1945. War ended. Lovat's scouts went home, to Scotland, to the mountains, to the estates. And what did they do? Went back to deer stalking, like nothing happened. But something had changed, because now there were stories. What did you do in Italy? Hunting. What did you hunt? Germans. Silence, because they didn't talk. Deer stalkers were quiet men. In Scotland, in Italy, everywhere did their job, completed their duty, then went home. Some got medals, some didn't care, because for them the reward was going home. To the mountains, to the deer, to peace. Lovat scouts don't exist today. Unit was disbanded in 1967, but there's a legacy. What? Revolutionized sniper training, because they showed the best snipers come not from military training, but from civilian skills. Today, when special forces select snipers, what do they look for? Patience, terrain knowledge, stealth, one-shot capability, same skills. Deer stalking skills. Lovat's scouts were pioneers. And in Scotland today, there are still deer stalkers, working in the mountains, using the same techniques, and some are veterans, learned from their fathers, from their grandfathers. Those grandfathers, maybe they were in Lovat's scouts, in Italy, hunting Germans, and those skills, they passed generation to generation. Still, what do we learn from this story? Civilian skills can have military value. Lovat's scouts proved it. They weren't professional soldiers. They were deer stalkers. But in war, they became one of the best. Why? Because skills are transferable, meaning applicable to other fields. Patience, stealth, precision. These skills work not just in hunting, but everywhere. Think about it. What skills do you have in your life? Maybe seems unimportant, but one day, in a different field, that skill might save lives. For Lovat scouts, deer stalking became war skill. For you? Who knows? But remember, every skill is valuable. Every experience matters. Because one day, unexpectedly, that experience might be useful. And of course, this story shows Scottish spirit. What was Lovat's scouts? Scottish stubbornness. They say impossible. Scott says, watch me. They say you can't turn a deer stalker into a soldier. Lovat's scouts became the best sniper unit. They say you can't shoot from 800 meters. Lovat's scouts did. They say you can't hide in mountains. Lovat's scouts became ghosts because Scots don't quit. Used to hardship. Mountains are harsh, climate is harsh, life is harsh, but Scots are tougher. And this spirit showed in Lovat scouts. They didn't complain, accepted hardship, overcame it, and did their duty. quietly, effectively. The Scottish way. Personally, this story amazes me. Because think about it. There's a guy, hunts deer his whole life. War breaks out. Army says we need your skills. And that guy, without any military training, becomes the most effective sniper. How? Because skills are the same. Only the target changes, and this taught me something. Expertise is transferable. If you're expert in one field, that expertise can apply to other fields. For Lovat's scouts, his hunting skill became war skill. For you, maybe coding skill becomes problem-solving skill. Maybe sports skill becomes discipline skill. Every expertise is valuable, because one day, in an unexpected place, it might be useful. Lovat's scouts proved this perfectly. Let's make a comparison. Normal sniper unit, select soldiers, train 6 months, send to front. Result, good snipers, but not perfect, because experience lacking. Lovat's scouts, select already experienced men, give 2 months military training, send to front. Result, perfect snipers, because 20 years experience there. See the difference? Time. Training time shortened, but efficiency increased, because fundamentally skills were already there. Just needed adaptation. This is genius from military strategy perspective. Why train from zero? Find someone already trained. Adapt. Send. Lovat scouts proved this principle. And today, special forces still use this principle. Looking for civilians with special skills, divers, climbers, hunters, because Lovat scouts showed it works. Ghosts. That's what the Germans called them, because they didn't see them. Only saw the results. Falling soldiers, silent deaths, invisible enemy. But Lovat's scouts weren't ghosts. They were human. They were Scottish men who came from mountains, who hunted deer, who moved silently, who shot perfectly, who waited patiently. And when they went to war, they used those skills on a different target, but with the same technique, and won. Because for them, this was just another hunting season. Just this time wasn't deer. And when war ended, they went home, to mountains, to deer, to silence, like they never left. But we know, in Italian mountains, they became legend. Ghosts, silent killers, Lovat scouts, Scottish deer stalkers, the war's most feared snipers. What's Lovat scouts' legacy? They showed the best warriors aren't always the best trained. Sometimes the best warriors are those already trained by life. Mountains trained them, deer trained them, wind, rain, cold trained them. Army just adapted. And result? Perfection. So the lesson is, don't underestimate your skills. Maybe seems unimportant today, but tomorrow that skill might save lives, might change history. Lovat's scouts proved deer stalking changed history. In Italy, quietly, effectively. And we remember them, not as ghosts, as heroes, Scottish heroes, children of the mountains, ghosts of the war. So what do you think? Write in the comments. Can civilian skills have military value? What other professions do you think would work in war? Climbers, fishermen, hunters? Let's discuss. And if this story interested you, don't forget to hit that like button. Because if you want to see more stories like this, the algorithm needs to know. Don't forget to subscribe. Every day I share new Scottish war hero stories. There's Mad Jack Churchill. There's John Hannah. Many more. And turn on notifications, because these stories don't wait. History doesn't wait. See you in the next video. Until then, remember Lovat scouts, the ghosts, and their legacy lesson. Every skill is valuable. Every experience matters. One day, unexpectedly, it might be useful. See you.